Hello friends, it's Kayla. Welcome to my birthday book haul. If you're seeing this early enough in the day, I am doing a members little casual birthday live show later today. If you want to join, the link will be down below. But let's roll up our sleeves, apparently, and get to all the books I've accumulated in the last month. It's a decent stack. It's not too big, not too small. Let's count them. 20 things. We've got 20 things to talk about. I'm going to kick it off with books that were sent to me. So Tor and Tor Nightfire sent over some packages of upcoming releases or recently released things. Some things I already owned, but I'm going to show you the ones that I'm keeping in my collection to read. One of them is Sundial by Katrina Ward, which I was going back and forth on if I wanted to pick up, and now it's sitting here in my life. So I'm excited to read it and see how I feel, because her last book was a middle ground 3-star for me. This one, I'm just obsessed with the cover and the colors. And with a main character named Rob. He's a husband, has 2 kids, a nice house in the suburbs. Oh no, wait, just kidding. Rob is the woman. She's got it all. A husband, 2 kids, and a nice house in the suburbs. But she has a daughter named Callie who collects tiny bones and whispers to imaginary friends. Apparently her mom had similar things going on when she was a child, but she thought she left that behind. They moved to this place called Sundial in the desert, and Callie is worried about her mom because her mom is saying weird things. So they're both like trying to figure out what's going on with each other. Stephen King said it's nerve shredding. Okay. They also sent me Dead Silence, which I was just about to pick up myself. I've seen it all over my Instagram recently. It says a ghost ship, a salvage crew, unspeakable horrors. What I know of this is there's a woman in space and she has a crew and she doesn't want to return to Earth. I think like this is her last mission into space or something. And so they decide to go investigate some suspicious thing, and what they find is a spaceship from like 20 years ago that has been missing, and I guess they go explore it and there are scary things aboard. Another one I'm really looking forward to is Manhunt by Gretchen Felker Martin. This was in my most anticipated reads of the year list, but a lot of people have been reading it recently and it's gotten very mixed reactions, so I'm even more intrigued now. But setting my expectations in a reasonable place, it says Beth and Fran spend their days traveling the ravaged New England coast, hunting feral men and harvesting their organs. And we have another character named Robbie. Everyone has my husband's name. He's a man who lives by his gun and has one hard-learned motto: other people aren't safe. I've heard it's like really disgusting, so we'll see how that goes. And then one of my most anticipated reads of the entire year, Seasonal Fears by Sean McGuire. This is the sequel to Middle Game. It's following different characters. Is it Melanie? Yeah, Melanie and Harry. I definitely don't want to know too much going into this, but I'm hoping to read, well, as many arcs as I can in the month of April. From Sourcefire Books, they sent me the next Rachel Griffin, which is the author of The Nature of Witches. It was a 5-star for me last year, and this is called Wild is the Witch. It's not a sequel, it's a completely different situation, but it's still about witches. Here's the actual cover. I think it's lovely. And while in the other witchy book, it was like a society of witches, everyone knew about witches, everyone in the book was a witch. In this one, we're following a character who like nobody knows is a witch and she doesn't want anyone to ever know that she's a witch. There is an entire society of witches. There's like a witch council, but she is hiding from them and just like trying to live a nice normal life. It sounds really cool because she works in like wildlife rehab, and basically there's this guy who hates witches and she doesn't want him to find out she's a witch, but because of his hate for witches she wants to like get revenge on him. But then something happens with this owl and this curse, and she has to protect the owl in order for the curse not to get out or something. That's what I've gathered from the synopsis, but we'll see how it goes. And then Simon & Schuster Canada sent me some really exciting things. Queen of Tiles is another one of my most anticipated reads of the year. This is the one I've talked about nonstop. It's about a girl and she's like kind of solving this mystery. She's getting clues while at the Scrabble tournament about the death of her friend, and she needs to find out like what really happened. As secrets are revealed and true colors of friendship are shown, it's up to Najwa to find out who's behind these mysterious posts. And then they sent me Girl in Ice by Erica Ferenkick, which I only recently heard about. This is the author of some adult thrillers I've read. There it is. I knew it was behind me. The River at Night is one of them, but I think Or maybe I just assumed that this was YA because it has a young girl at the forefront. Okay, but she's not the main character. So we are following a woman who is a linguist and struggling to understand the apparent suicide of her twin brother. And she ends up in the Arctic Circle communicating with a girl who has recently been thawed from the ice. And I don't know how I don't know the point of the story. Though I think Erica Fahrenkik is more like action thriller than mystery thriller. So I just have no idea where the story is gonna go. And I'm very intrigued. And I appreciate all the publishers for sending me all of those things. Now let's get into everything that I bought. Almost everything here is from the thrift store, so that's exciting. I had some wins this month. But let's get into the couple that I bought new because there's just a few of them. Of course, we've got The Paris Apartment, which is the March Literally Dead book club pick. This is the story with a big cast of characters. There's a woman who goes to stay in her brother's Paris apartment, but he's not there, and maybe the people around know where he is and what's going on. I also picked up Death in Her Hands by Otessa Moshfegh for reasons. Look out for a video on someone else's channel that I'm going to link you to soon where you can find out all my thoughts on this. It will also be in my wrap up. But this is pitched as a metaphysical suspense novel. It's about a woman who finds a note in the woods that says, "Her name was Magda. Nobody will ever know who killed her. It wasn't me. Here is her dead body." And it just sends this woman into a spiral of trying to figure out what this note means and what happened to this woman. And then lastly, I bought The Last Final Girl by Stephen Graham Jones, just because I didn't think I would probably ever find this secondhand, so I just bought like the brand new copy. And I read this last month, listened to it on audio, and I just wanted to own it because it was incredible. And it's about a serial killer, it's a slasher, Billie Jean, murderous things, and it's written like a movie script. Oh, and then I do have one more. I didn't buy it, but my husband bought it full price for a video. Again, another members only thing, but we did a little, you know that TikTok trend that's like you buy each other's favorite, something that's each other's favorite color, each other's favorite snack, you like see if you're correct. It was like a little game we played. I'll link that down below too if you want to watch. And not to spoil it, but there's one prompt that is something that reminds you of each other, and he bought me a book, which makes sense, and it's called The Night She Went Missing by Kristen Bird. I had definitely never heard of this before, but it sounds like something I would read, so it was kind of an incredible pick by him. It's set in a tight-knit and deceitful Texas community where parents are known to behave badly and people are not always what they appear to be. It's got a little bit of a vague synopsis, but we've got a girl in high school who disappeared from a party. And now she's missing, and obviously somebody knows the truth. Now on to thrifted things. This one, let's keep it in the thriller family, is called A Bad Day for Sunshine by Dorinda Jones. And I have a thought. I saw this at the thrift store, and I had a thought for a video that I could do. I don't know when, but it's going to be about mysteries and kind of like cozy mysteries, because I liked Finley Donovan so much, and I feel like I hadn't really read a thriller or mystery book like that. And so now I just picked this up, which I don't really know the synopsis of, and I don't want to read the full thing, but it has something to do with a kidnapper on the loose in a small town. And I thought it would be fun for me to pick up some like cozy crime and read it all for a video. So I have some other ideas that you'll see in future hauls, because I already ordered them from Indigo, but they're taking their sweet time. Yeah, I was gonna spoil some of it, but I don't want to. But if you want to recommend me any other like cozy kind of mysteries that are like funny, like maybe romantic, you might end up recommending the most popular ones, which I already am planning on reading, but I would love to hear any ideas that you have. Let's move on to Skeleton Crew by Stephen King. I got this because it just fits into this collection, these editions of Stephen King. I really love, and when I see them, I just buy them even if I already own the book. This one I have right here, but I'm pretty sure this is my mom's, and maybe I should return it to her. What an idea. This is a collection of short stories. I don't really remember which ones. Oh, right, The Mist is in here. I don't really remember like what my favorites. I think I need to reread this one. I remember Nona, and I remember Grandma, and I think I remember The Raft. But there are so many stories in here that this would be a good one to revisit, I think. Speaking of short story collections, I found Friday Black. This is a short story collection I've had on my TBR for a while, and it says it's about placing ordinary characters in extraordinary situations. These stories explore urgent instances of racism and cultural unrest and the ways we fight for humanity in an unforgiving world. Okay, next moving on to sci-fi. I found The Calculating Stars by Mary Robinette Kowal, and this has been recommended to me a lot recently, but I don't really remember what it is. On a cold spring night in 1952, a huge meteorite fell to Earth and obliterated much of the east coast of the United States. The Earth becomes inhospitable to humanity, and we're following a bunch of women who are pilots and scientists. Our main character is Elma, and she wants to become the first lady astronaut. Another one that I've had recommended to me a lot this one I'm a little unsure of, but I grabbed it. It's called All Systems Red by Martha Wells. Like, when it's a couple dollars, how can you say no? And it says, in a corporate dominated spacefaring future, planetary missions must be approved and supplied by the company. But in a society where contracts are awarded to the lowest bidder, safety isn't a primary concern. On a distant planet, a team of scientists are conducting surface tests shadowed by their company supplied droid, a self-aware SEC unit that has hacked its own governor module and refers to itself as Murderbot. I have no idea what I'm getting into with this, but it's a really quick read, so I think it'll probably happen sooner than later. Then this one, I just got really sucked in by the title and the cover and the colors. It's called Everyone Knows Your Mother is a Witch by Rivka Galchin. This is a very long synopsis, and I don't want to read it all, but it says it draws on real historical documents infused with intensity and imagination. It's a story of how a community becomes implicated in collective aggression and hysterical fear. It illuminates a society and a family undone by superstition, the state, and the mortal convulsions of history. I have no idea, but I wanted it. That's good enough reason to buy a book, I think. Next up, okay, I have a better reason for picking this one up. It's She Weeps Each Time You're Born by Quan Berry. I love Quan Berry. I've talked about her recently in like my favorite authors video, even though I feel like I can't call her that until I read 3 books from her. And I wasn't sure about if I ever wanted to read more things from her because nothing sounds like the book that I loved. And I think that I thought her other books like had no, you know, outside of reality situation. Maybe I was just distracted by them starting with something like Vietnam 1972. And I was like, okay, like, do I want historical fiction? But if I keep reading, I will see that it says we're following a character named Rabbit, who's born with the ability to speak with the dead. Yes, it's historical. Yes, we have World War II stuff, but the blurbs are very intriguing to me, and I think I should just read it. Next up is yet another Thomas King. I pick up every single Thomas King that I see, and I never read any of them. I don't know what that says about me. I've seen this cover everywhere, and I was just at the thrift store. This is one of the most recent things that I bought, and I didn't realize how freaking big this book was. I assumed it was a novella. I think the cover is strange and intriguing. Did I say what it's called? The Back of the Turtle. It's about a brilliant scientist who, when he turns to the Smoke River Reserve, finds out that almost everyone in the community has disappeared. Even the sea turtles are gone. He ends up saving this girl from the water, and I don't know, just goes on a different like path in life. I don't know what to expect from that. But on a similar vibe, we've got another water ebook. I can't remember if I've hauled this. It's The Sea is Salt and So Am I by Cassandra Hart. This was on my most anticipated list of things I wanted to read, I think last year, and then I just never picked it up. But again, when you see it for a couple dollars, like, what's a girl to do? We're following a 16-year-old named Harlow who's determined to save her small Maine hometown. She has a broken relationship with her twin brother, and he attempts to take his own life, I think, at the beginning of the book. And then we go on to just like rebuild this relationship. It's told in multiple POVs, and it's a story that tests old loyalties, sparks new romance, and uncovers painful secrets. I really, really want to read this. As far as like YA contemporary goes, that is one that remains something that I think I could enjoy and that I'll pick up someday, hopefully soon. I'm doing a whole series over the entire month of April where I dive into every single book that I own and haven't read. So wish me luck with that, and you'll see all of these books pop up, and probably ones you forgot I ever owned or been wondering for years when the heck I was gonna read. So look forward to a deep dive of my TBR shelf soon. And that's it for my haul today. Thank you so much for being here and hanging out with me, and I'll see you in a couple days with another video. Bye!